From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon of Afternoons LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. Direct from Santa Monica, California, as the voting on that recon could start as early as the next 48 hours. We could have a vote on that recon starting as early as Monday, and we would be done on the House side. This is despite an absence of a Congressional Budget Office report. No one's worrying about that report. We're going over to the credible finish line. The deal has been reached to finish the recon on the House side, and away we go to the Senate side. This is huge, and this is breaking. Programs that'll pay you on average about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. You're going to learn in this video how to get these sums of money, but I'm bringing back third stimulus, which pays the viewers on average $45,000 across the board. Get that pen and paper ready, because this is money you can get today. Viewers starting the week and ending the week with $80,000 they didn't start the week with. I'm going to show you how to get this big money. Student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven across the board, and then we go to that COLA raise. That COLA raise of 5.9% coming next year, but you need more than that. That's why we have this stimulus. It's a big, bold, beautiful day. I'm excited for you because we got a lot of money in this video. We have all the big money, a third stimulus still paying, getting viewers about an average of $45,000, and many viewers starting the week at $0 and ending the week at $8,000. Then we have fourth stimulus on the burner and heating up with a final vote on the House in the next 48 hours at least. We got a big jam-packed recording, a lot of money for you to get right now. No need to struggle. We're cashing checks. We ain't tracking checks. We're advocating. We ain't eating donuts, although donuts are delicious. Especially the bacon donut I heard about, but I've not seen it because no one brings me my bacon. It's a big, bold, beautiful afternoon's recording, and it starts right now. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Away we go. Hope the weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me how the weather is where you are. It is blistering hot here in Southern California in the middle of winter. House deal, and that House deal means that the vote will start as early as Monday. Wow, here we go. We're going to be done. It's going to be a quick 1 hour vote, and away we go on that House, and we're finished. Then the Congressional Budget Office report not being done, but not finished, no longer a concern across the board. I have the latest details in this recording. Programs in. More programs could be added and more programs could be removed on the Senate side. But so far, about $15,000 of incredible checks you're going to get from this incredible fourth stimulus recon. Yes, that is $15,000. It is confirmed in there. It is in there. It's going to the finish line. Someone tells you, I heard there's no money except for llamas in the fourth stimulus. Don't read the Llama Journal. Read this channel. Then we're going to turn to some student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven across the board. I have all those incredible details and more. And then we go to fifth stimulus. Boy, we got a huge recording, and we're not starting there just yet because we're also going to cover third stimulus. That'll pay you $45,000 this week, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now. Right here, right now, we're cashing checks. We're not tracking checks. And this, my friends, is LALATE, America's most talked about financial news channel. 16 shows per day, hundreds of hours of programming per week. The channel that shows you how to cash checks. How many checks have you cashed from the channel this week? I'm listening. How many checks have you cashed from this channel this week? None? Well, you haven't been getting third stimulus money. And I reached out to one of the volunteers yesterday. I said, how many messages have you got from viewers asking for assistance from third stimulus? The volunteer said nothing in the last 3 days. Oh, trouble with a capital T. I'm on top of you with a lot of tough love in this video. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. We're going to show you how to get money right today. Like this video. Consider liking this video and consider becoming a member. We're going to cover first, second, third, fourth, and fifth stimulus, and we're going to end you with getting money in your pocket, the knowledge that has that money available by the end of today. And we're going to get ready for fourth stimulus as well. Let's go over what is going on. A fourth stimulus will be called for a final vote within less than a 48-hour period in the House of Representatives. Then off to the Senate we go. This incredible recon will pay you a lot of money, on average about $15,000. Yes, And anyone jumps in the live chat says, I've heard that. Stop taking out the cotton in the earballs and in the ears and listen, because this money is a lot of it. It's in this fourth stimulus. It was passed in a subcommittee several weeks ago, and now it has been reduced to about a $2 trillion recon. And that recon across all these incredible clusters of checks would pay you $15,000. But the thing about forced stimulus is that it's not law yet. And you need help with rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. Stay with me, because I'm going to get you that money today at the end of this video. I'm going to show you how to get that money starting right today. You don't have to wait for forced stimulus, even though we're going to cover fourth and third in this video. Let's go back into this incredible fourth stimulus. That pays you about $15,000 across all these incredible clusters of checks. 3 clusters. Get that pen and paper ready. You need to know those clusters because it's all for you. And they're all deliciousness, and some of them are front end, and some of them are back end. Let's go over the first clusters of checks in this fourth stimulus recon. Hazard pay passed. Earned income tax credit for my essential workers, 1 more year of that. That is a back end check. $4,000 of elder care. For my seniors, front end check. Then we got $4,000 to care for young children. One of the most popular provisions of the first cluster is the home repairs. Yes, that's a low income community home. And that is free money, front end checks. They got it in there. College students, the Pell Grant, $550 checks, got it in there. And then the CTC, the child tax credit, children's checks for 1 more year, $3,600 or $3,000 if you're a low-income community. Finally, they got the $12,500 back-end check for the purchase price of a new electric car. That is the first clusters of checks in the fourth stimulus recon. The first add-on is one of the most popular provisions on this channel, and it is the provision to buy your first home. First home, first money, and big first deal. $25,000 proposed by Maxine Waters. She's not going to get that number in there, but she got an amount in there that is deliciousness for you. For purchase of your first home. How do you get this money? Stay with me. Lay in this video. We got a lot coming up. We're going to go over how to get this money. We're going to go over every provision. We're going to go over the voting process. We're going to go over third stimulus that's paying you money right this week. Oh, we got a lot coming up in this video. Stay with me. I'm excited. Are you? Home repairs, second cluster. Let's turn to that second cluster. A lot of checks. Paid family leave, paid medical leave, household tax credits, pre-kindergarten, tuition-free community college out, but weatherizing your home and family paid leave in there. Both thousands of dollars, and the paid weatherizing your home, you need it. You definitely need it because of the holidays, and you never know when those trick-or-treaters come. No, carolers. No, lobster carolers come knocking at the door, and they're asking you to donate to Mitch's re-election campaign. No, lock the door. Lock the door quickly. It's a trick. It's not Halloween. It's Lobster Fest. Let's go to the second cluster add-on of checks, and the second add-on of checks come from the incredible Bob Casey. He put in there $250 billion. He didn't get that number, but he got a little bit less. And it's free home health care for my seniors and my people on disabilities. Free home health care. I have all that details coming up later in this video. Let's go to the third cluster of checks. This is for stimulus, and boy, we got a lot of money in this third cluster. Free school meals for all checks at $65 per month per kid. Cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform, benefit. Farmers don't know. The free internet, believed to be in there, clean energy out. Workers, not particularly clear. And then the Medicare expansion. Several provisions in there. The remainder coming on the Senate side. So, dropping the eligibility age of Medicare, the dental and vision coming on the Senate side. On the House side, they're getting done hearing, and they're getting done the stopgap states that we're not delivering the lower Medicare benefits. I have that coming up later in this video. The third add-on is MSC, monthly or multiple IRS stimulus checks. This has always been a Senate play. It is a Senate play that they can put it in on the Senate. And you have 2 opportunities on the Senate, Vote-A-Rama and also Senate subcommittee. You want Senate subcommittee because it slows it down. Second half of this video, you see a lot of senators saying we got a lot to do on the Senate side. And that Senate side is important for you because certainly are those monthly IRS stimulus checks. You also want that Vote-A-Rama. The Vote-A-Rama is a 2-day process in which the senators introduce new legislation or to modify what was in the House bill or not in the House bill. And that 2-day Vote-A-Rama has been critical across history. It was the provision that Liz Warren and Chuck Schumer used to get the student loan debt forgiveness a tax-free event, saving millions of American students over $10,000 a person. It's important to advocate because guess what? We're heading to the Senate, and where that money is at issue is the Senate. We now have in total, between Congressional Senators' office, received more advocacies from the LA Purple Power than the American Petition. Now they have a better understanding what Americans are going through. They have a heartbreaking stories, and they voice the people in you, LA. As you have become too loud to be ignored. Wonderful message. Let's read the last sentence on air together. The last sentence says, please continue your encouragement for the continuing advocacy as the professional voice of the people you have become until this becomes law. Absolutely. What's very important to understand is we have 2 C's, 2 W's, and 2 S's. Thousands of viewers were told by the senators across the board that they would insert at least one stimulus check into the credible recon. The 2 S's, Sanders and Schubert. The 2 W's, Warren and Wyden. The 2 C's, Casey and Coons. Dedicate one day of the week to call the 2 C's, then one day to call the 2 S's, and one day to call the 2 W's. It's important because when we go to the Senate side, you're going to see a lot of changes. Second half of this video, we have a lot of breaking news about what's going on in that Senate. Senators have a lot of things proposed to change. But we're going to also go over the incredible deal as we have a deal on that House bill, and that House bill will be finished, done, dealed, signed, and sealed within at least 48 hours. It's deliciousness. Voting is set, and that is without a Congressional Budget Office report. I have the latest details. We're going to go over the incredible programs that pay you fortunes across this channel. $15,000. I can't hit that nail on the button on the nail. A hammer on, I don't know. I just can't hit this point loud enough for people than I am, because this is absolutely astronomical money. It is your money. It was dedicated for you. You're going to get it. Student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven across the board, and then fifth stimulus. Definitely need it because you're behind on the 8 ball. They're raising your benefits 5.9%, but they can do a lot more. We're also going to go over the incredible money of third stimulus. Not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, not 5 years from now. Not even 5 days from now. It is third stimulus, and it's paying viewers upwards of $40,000. Viewers are ending the week with $80,000 they did not start the week with. I'm going to show you how to get these astronomical numbers from third stimulus coming up after the commercial break. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Afternoons LALATE as a deal has been reached and that House vote will be happening in no less than 48 hours. Here we go. We are heading to the finish line on the House of Representatives. This is despite the absence of a Congressional Budget Office report. It was supposed to be done by next week. It likely will not. I'll explain to you why. And then programs that'll pay you about $15,000. The most important part of this recording, in addition to third stimulus. We're going to go over that and third stimulus together. That'll pay you about $45,000 across the board. Student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven. I have all the latest details on that. And then we turn to fifth stimulus and the big money coming next year. We got third, fourth, and fifth stimulus all covered in this recording. But the big issue and the big refocusing on today's afternoon show is refocusing. Showing you that there's big sums of money available for you right now, not looking to the future for just money, also grabbing the opportunities of the moment, because we're cashing checks, not tracking them. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, the best that there is, and I'm excited you joined us. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP to get that incredible newsletter Monday through Friday. Let's go over all the dramatics of what's happening this coming week, because it is dramatic and it is huge, and it starts right here. You may have taken a breather from watching the drama of forced stimulus for a week, but you need to come on back on plate. Get ready. This coming week is now the edge of the finish line. The House of Representatives will absolutely pass the reconciliation budget bill at a price tag somewhere around $2 trillion. That'll pay you about $15,000 in clusters of checks sometime this coming week. It is no later than November 15th. The official language that the moderate Democrats agree to is that they will vote on the recon no later than the week of November 15th. The confirmation came from Nancy Pelosi during an appearance at the climate conference in Scotland. When asked, what if you do not have the Congressional Budget Office report? Are you still calling the vote? She said, yes, I have a deal. And the deal is the vote will be no later than November 15th. Pelosi historically votes on a Thursday night. It's actually a joke on this channel, but she does it always a Thursday night. So get ready. But the vote can happen as early as Monday as the House goes back into session. They were waiting for a Congressional Budget Office report that determines how much each of the programs of the recon are and how much are they paid for by raising certain types of corporate taxes. That CBO report will not be released. I've been detailing in breaking news on this channel, but no worry across the board because the vote will be happening. The recon collectively pays you enormous sums of money. It is enormous sums of money. And if you are not taking notes and taking details of it, I'm going to start giving a little bit of tough love. I've done tough love before on this channel. I did it in the summer of this year where I said, you need to make sure you have this lined up in order to get this check. There was a particular check. You have to file this tax return to get a missing stimulus check. There was a couple of tough love moments in the summer. I'm giving lots of tough love today because of two issues. One, I need you to focus on these programs. I need you to know exactly which program you think you want, taking notes, making sure you understand it. If you don't understand it, I want you to send me complicated private messages on social media. Say, please explain this to me or on camera. Then I want you to get ready for third stimulus and get that money if you haven't. And if you've gotten money, I want you to get more of it. Let's first start with let's start by going right into these nearly $15,000 of checks across the board. The first one is paid leave. If you're a worker or your son or daughter is a worker, this is a provision you need to know and inform your family about. Why is it important? And you know what? That last sentence I just said to you is a new sentence I've never said on this channel. You may think paid leave is only for people that are workers, but you may be retired, live at home with your son and daughter, and this is money for them if you get sick. So do not think in only the context of your universe. Let's go over the details. What is it? It's if a person in the household, like your son or daughter, has to stay home from work because someone is injured or sick or has died or is giving birth. How many times during the last year have you been sick? And it's not COVID related. You've been sick and someone has to take care of you. It may have been your son or daughter. Now your son and daughter won't have to lose a paycheck. You won't have to pay for a nurse. Now your son and daughter can take off time from work and take care of you and get paid to do it. This is why I always want you to keep your mind open, because I've had a lot of viewers in private messages telling me this has happened to them many times in the last year. How much does it pay? It pays a lot, even if your son or daughter makes middle or low income. First, if you make $70,000 or more per year, that would be about $1,800, $1,700 a week under third stimulus proposals. Then, if you make $35,000 a year, it would be $800 a week based upon what they had proposed. $400 a week if you make $15,000 a year. Yeah, most people make at least $30,000 a year, your son or daughter. So if your son or daughter has to stay home, let's say they have to stay home up to 4 weeks. That's how many weeks it's covered. 4 weeks at $800, that's nearly $4,000, $3,200. Wow. On the high end, it's $5,000 to $6,000. It's a lot of money. What type of workers? All type, every eligibility, whether it's W-2 or 1099, whether they are an Uber Lyft driver or they work at a department store, whether they are self-employed or not self-employed, and all income levels whether they make $10,000 a year or they make $110,000 a year. It is incredible. And that is why that provision is likely a provision that applies to virtually every viewer of this channel. Whether you work or you live in home with your son and daughter and they work and they have to stay home from work because they have to take you to a doctor's appointment. I have so many viewers in the live chat daily saying, I'm going to a doctor's appointment. Did your son and daughter take off from work to take you there? Now your son and daughter can get paid for that day. Here we go. The next provision is SALT. SALT is huge, especially in those big states like New York and New Jersey. It is the taxable event of when you pay state and local taxes. When you pay in state and local taxes, you can deduct that amount on the federal tax return. Well, under the Trump tax code of 2017, you could not deduct more than $10,000. So Gothenheim and the moderate Democrats got the number to $70,000 plus dollars. It is huge. Now you'll be able to deduct up to $72,500 on your federal tax return of what you pay on state and local taxes. They got in there $40 billion of free job training, and this is huge. When I go back to work, remember in the fifth stimulus, my seniors are able to go back to work and still get their benefits checks. So you want to just, take a simple job at the local grocery store, $40 billion of free job training. It's huge. Then here comes the Medicaid gap. This is big if you live in a state where the governor is Republican. There's 12 states where the governors are Republican and they refuse to pay for Obamacare. So a lot of Americans have not gotten insurance in those states. Now, the wonderful deal of this recon is that they will have a workaround plan that will provide subsidized private insurance to you if you're low income in those, quote, Medicaid gap states. Immigration reform is in this recon, but it is not a check, which brings us to housing assistance. At housing assistance, we start to see the overlap with third stimulus. When third stimulus was passed, it provided $47 billion for housing aid, rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. It wasn't used up much of it, with $13 billion still not used up as a few weeks ago. The Treasury Secretary sent out that final $13 billion about a month ago. I featured on this channel. It's in the newsletter for viewers. Fourth stimulus recon by analysis will have the same provisions in there and additional provisions, weatherizing your home, repairing your home, low-income community, and purchase price of your first home, bringing the price tag to $150 billion compared to that 47 under third stimulus. Let's take a detour just for a second because third stimulus here overlaps with fourth stimulus. And here is where I want people to be laser focused back on something, which is you got bills. You want bills to be paid. You may be looking forward into the future as to fourth stimulus to pay those bills. Wrong. Look to the present to use third stimulus to pay those bills. I can get you, not 5 weeks from now, not 5 months from now, not even 5 days from now, right now, your money paid for if it's rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, food, and SNAP. Get that pen and paper ready. We're going to go over all the details right now. First, the rent that viewers have gotten on this channel, they've gotten multiple rounds. This is what the rent looked like over about a month ago. Actually, maybe 2 months ago. The rent went from anywhere from $20,000 to $27,000. The average viewer on this channel now is getting about $40,000 of rent. You may ask, how are they able to get that sums of money? Because the rent has now been able to go through multiple rounds. They got rounds of rent earlier this year, middle of this year, and then they went back to get some more rent. This is why the programs seem to look like they overlap, because guess what? There is more of these programs repeating themselves. Rent. How do you get it? Where do you get it? What do you do to get it? Here are the 6 places. You reach out to all 6 places. You don't reach out to just one and stop. 6 places with different eligibility, have different pots of money. We want to reach out to all 6. You're going to reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county house authority, your state hall, your state house authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You can get rent and mortgage assistance right today. You do not have to be behind on the bill. You do not have to be COVID related. You do not have to be in a red state or a blue state. The eligibility is different at all 6 different places. You will qualify if you have a financial burden and need assistance with that rent paid. Next, utility bills. I've been covering utilities for over a year on this channel, but I've been covering them a lot this summer into the fall. Well, guess what? Heating oil prices have now gone up 59% year to date based upon the new consumer price index number released this week. Inflation is most out of control when we talk about utilities. So you want to get that utility bill paid up. And if you got utilities before, you can get more. I have Mark, who I think he got $18,000 about a week ago. So he went back and got more utilities. And guess what? You want to get utilities now, and you want to get it again in a few months from now, because the heating oil prices are going to go through the roof as soon as it gets cold for you, or the bills are going to go through the roof. So get those utilities. Reach out to all 5 utility companies. Next, you want to get SNAP. I have people saying people can't put food on the table. Are you on SNAP? If you're not, get on it right now. Where do you get it? Department of Agriculture. If there's one legacy this channel will leave in its future, is SNAP, because I have really changed so many millions of Americans on getting on SNAP that never knew it existed and never knew it paid so much. Mark's brother-in-law is getting $25,000 a year. Mark is, I think, getting about $19,000 a year. Over 10 years, Mark's brother-in-law will get $250,000 of money for food. How do you get it? Department of Agriculture. You reach out to them and get on SNAP. Eligibility is easy in a stimulus check, and guess what? It went up 25% a lifetime starting last month. You want to get multiple sums of money, so you do not want to just get one item. You don't want to just get rent and stop. You want to get as many different checks from different places. I have a wonderful longtime viewer who said he applied for rent in one place and his held up. That's not how you do it. You apply and rent as many places as you can. You can get rent from multiple sources at the same time. Here's Mark months ago. Mark is now, I think, far over $100,000. He called multiple places and he got multiple checks. And that was $50,000 then. Lorraine, she was $105,000. She's now at close to $120,000 as well. We have Johnny, who was a wonderful viewer with one of 3 that started one week a few weeks ago. He started with $0. By the middle of the week, he and Johnny and the 2 other people got $45,000 from third stimulus. Johnny didn't stop there. By the weekend, he continued to push, and by the weekend, he got 7 different items approved. How much of those 7 items pay him? $80,000. He started this channel with 0 and ended the week at $80,000. He turned around and told his friends and family about it. They thought, what are you talking about? I have never heard of this. Where did you learn this from? He said, LA. And so those family members went back and then did what Johnny showed them, and they got collectively $100,000 amongst 2 of them. I have a wonderful viewer yesterday who said, I was watching something or reading something somewhere and said there was no more money for third stimulus, and I heard you say stop listening to fake news, start pushing it, start getting this money. Thank you. And for her, it was a big deal. She got, I think it was like $1,000, $2,000, but for her, it was game-changing. Every dollar helps. Margaret, bless her soul, she keeps on pushing. Every single week, she gets another $300, $200 there. It adds up. So that brings us back. So please get this third stimulus money. If you have problems paying bills right now, get that third stimulus money. Find out the nonprofits. There are 5 nonprofits: United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. They are also featured in the newsletter for members. The 5 nonprofits pay the same items under third stimulus plus additional items: homeless people into shelters, relocation expenses, small appliances like a portable heater, a portable refrigerator, a broken window, and then clothing, even holiday meals. Get that newsletter. Become a member today. The membership link is under the video to learn about third stimulus and learn about the nonprofits. If there's one message I could repeat a lot, I wish I could, which is I've been covering this type of money, rent all the way over to clothing, since October of 2020. I told people how to do it, and I taught them how to do it, and they got $250,000 then. Then I said, get ready for third stimulus because it's coming in early 2021. You're going to get the skill set ready. I called it skill set. You're going to learn the skill how to do it. As soon as third stimulus pounced, I said, become a Purple Hawk, because it's going to be first come, first serve, but learn the skill set. Because as soon as it becomes law, you're going to pounce. And they did so well. You know what? If you're just finding this channel, or you never done this before, or this is new to you, don't worry, because you're going to learn this skill set today under third stimulus, so that when you go into fourth stimulus, when fourth stimulus becomes law, you're going to absolutely clean up. You are going to clean up because you learned it under third stimulus and you're taking it over to fourth stimulus. For all my viewers who have been doing this since second stimulus, you need to keep on doing it because there's more rounds and the rent is going up. And if the inflation number showed us anything this week, it showed that Rent inflation is one of the worst items of inflation right now. It's astronomically growing this year. And next year, it's going to grow as well. And also the utilities. All right, let's go back into forced stimulus in the housing section, which was where we left off. There are other provisions in that housing that are brand new. So I've never been able to get big home repairs for viewers under these previous stimulus packages. This will be in the fourth recon they represent. Home repairs, if you live in a low-income community, grants front-end checks. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't know what type of grants, how it's going to work, but as soon as it becomes a law, I'll focus on that with you as well. Then, weatherize your home. Not necessarily low-income homes, just any type of home. If you live in those hurricane or tornado or fire zones, yes. And then purchase price of your first home. First home, purchase price, home. I've gotten all great questions. Does it have to be a brick and mortar? Not necessarily. Does it have to be a single-family residence? Yes. Does it have to be your first? Yes, but we have to see how it defines the word first. Then let's go to the next provision of forced stimulus recon. In-home healthcare, $150 billion for my seniors and also my disabled people. $550 check for my college students on the Pell Grant. Currently on the Pell Grant or this year, not retroactively. $12,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle in a union shop. This is a back-end check. It's a tax credit. So I've gotten some great questions about this. This is electric, not hybrid, just electric. And union shop means GM, Chrysler, and Ford, and all their subsidiaries like Jeep and things like that. Yes, for example, the Chevy Volt is $30,000. This would be up to $12,500 off that purchase price. Then they got $65 per child in the when they're not in school for free meals. The cheaper medication reform is just a game changer. It's one of the most important parts of this incredible recon, and that cheaper prescription medication was done by the President of the United States. Over 20 years, Medicare has had their hands tied behind their back. Under their charter agreement, they could not negotiate the price of prescription medication. And for 20 years, 15 paid lobbyists in Washington by Big Pharma blocked any change to status quo until 2 Wednesdays ago. Kristen Sinema got a phone call from the President of the United States, and he did what he does best, negotiate. He got her to agree to do this reform, and she said yes, and bless the rest of the recon. Let's go over how much money this is and how it equates to you. Instantly, the day this becomes law, overnight, 20 plus medications will have new preferred dramatically cheaper prices based upon good faith negotiations of the Big Pharma and Medicare. An example is that insulin, which Mark's wife on Medicare is paying $900 a dose right now, will drop to $35 a dose. This is 20 plus medications. It'll grow to 30 medications by the year 2028. Includes Medicare Part B and D and the most expensive prescriptions, not the cheapest, like arthritis and cancer. A new report today says that when the recon lands in the Senate, the Republicans are set to go after every provision they think they can to argue it cannot go by recon and has to be removed by the Senate parliamentarian. I'm going to go over one of the provisions that's in this part right now in just a second. But the praises of this prescription medication reform are abounds. Senator Scott Peters says is really good for seniors across the board. All right, so what are the provisions that are on battleground with the Senate parliamentarian? This is brand new today, my friends. I've been saying 2 provisions. I now know 3rd, but guess what? There's an unlimited number. What's going on? The Republicans have now vowed going into the new week that when the House bill lands in the Senate, they are set to remove as many programs as they can remove based upon the notion that they are not allowed to go by recon. The Senate parliamentarian is a government official, not a partisan official, a government official who determines the rules of the Senate, what allows things to go by recon and what things cannot go by recon. I've been detailing immigration reform, likely come out. She said before it can't go by recon. And paid leave may go out because some people says it cannot go by recon. Well, a new provision today is one for the Medicare, for the prescription medication. There's a provision in there, which I've detailed over the last few weeks, that's in that agreement with Joe Biden that said they cannot, under this new rule, Big Pharma, raise the price of medicine more than the inflation rate per year. That seems fine. But there's a provision that says they will get penalized, Big Pharma, if they do. The Republicans say that type of language, penalizing someone, can't go by recon, and they're asking the Senate parliamentarian to take it out. So you're going to see, but that same report also said the GOP is looking to remove as many provisions they can that do not belong by recon. So very, very fluid situation across the board. What's important to understand is that the senators say they have a lot of changes to come. And those changes start with Bernie, who says, you know what? It's the best bill since the 1960s, but we have major gaps. And he wants to add a lot of great stuff for you. So that's what you want, a lot of more checks. We have Ron Wyden, who's the Democratic senator, says the deal's not done till the Senate acts, and there's still a significant amount of work to be done. We have Senator Chris Murphy. We have Chuck and others saying they have more provisions to be added across the board. Get that pen and paper ready. Let's go over some more of these checks right now. A check for pre-kindergarten 3 to 4 year olds, 1 year. A check for that earned income tax credit, back end, for my essential workers, 1 year. A check for the child tax credit for children, 1 year, front end. Then a check, then a covered benefit or a check for the home health care. I think it's a covered benefit. The hearing aid is in there, either a check, a voucher, or just a covered benefit. We just went over the housing a lot. The Pell Grant, $550 checks for my college students, and then the $65 for the food for the students. Bernie, what does he want to add on the Senate side? He wanted to add lowering prescription Medicare. He wants to lower the Medicare age and the dental and vision. Let's go over the nuances of those right now. Medicare is currently at 65 as the starting age. Bob Casey, who got that great win with the 250 or a little bit less than 250 for the home health care, he wants it at 55 at 60. Bernie wants it at 55. So they're going to try to push that in the Senate side. Bernie, meantime, wants the teeth and the dental. That's the same thing. The teeth and the vision to go into the recon on the Senate side. Let's go over the teeth. The teeth has gone through 4 different changes. First, it was 10 years of full benefits. Bernie had it in there. Then it got watered down to 3 years of full benefits. Then it got watered down to a check, $850 check per year in the mail if you're a senior on Medicare. Then it got removed. Bernie's trying to get it back in there. Going back in there, well, you would hope it's more than just $850 because that doesn't cover many procedures. Then the vision, Bernie wants a pair of glasses and an eye exam, covered benefits per year. Very, very simple. It's the cheapest of all the provisions. This has been a fodder for sirloin jokes. There is one person who's just jumping in the live chats every day, and she says, my frames that my daughter bought me cost $450. Medicare should cover it. Yeah, Medicare should also cover everyone's brand new Fendi belt. I don't know where people think that Medicare is going to pay for a brand new pair of frames. Not just the frames, just the plastic at $450. Medicare is not going to the Champs-Elysees in Paris to buy your frames. It's just, oh my God. And the person has been in the live chat like defending these $450. It's the $450 frame person. Now, I understand there are eye exams that take certain things and certain, and when I say $50 eye exam, oh my God, that makes some people's eye rolls. But we've had vision fights in the live chat the last 2 days. People said, I go to this optometrist and he just charges me $900 to get my eyes checked and a pair of old glasses. I'm like, and someone else will say, you need to change places. You need to get that owl on that commercial on TV. So that the owl with the vision, with the eyeglasses. So yeah, Bernie is not getting you $450 frames. He is not getting you some brand new Oakley sunglasses. Maybe Joe Manchin would, but because the coal really burns your eyes when you're looking at it. So, I can't believe I said that. So there we go. We go into the coal. Joe's always looking at his coal. He's in the backyard. He's looking at the coal. He's putting on the silicone glasses. There's coal everywhere around the mansion. The mansion. 15 years of the tax credit. I show $60,000 or less per year. I don't know what this 150 is. I show the home health care more than the notes are. I showed 175, which is good. I show the in-home health care $100, $200 billion. There you go. We got a lot in there, didn't we? And we're zooming on time. We covered third stimulus, we covered fourth stimulus. I got my commentary coming up in a second. First, let's jump in over to student loan debt. More student loan debt should be forgiven. And, Chuck and Liz, do this during the holidays. The president has offered $10,000 to be forgiven by executive order. Do it. People go in the holidays and they don't have this burden. Now, you know that the repayment of student loan debt is on freeze at the moment. But even so, the president has forgiven student loan debts for people who became disabled, people went to work in the nonprofit sector, and people went to work in the public sector 10 years after graduation. The president has offered $10,000 for everyone else. Democrats should take it. Fifth stimulus. Your benefits are going up next year, 5.9%. This is everyone, all beneficiaries. It doesn't cut it because this is the COLA raise. And if you've been on benefits for many, many years or been on this channel for a year, you see me trash COLA left and right because COLA has never moved for nearly 10 years. Now that inflation is very, very high, COLA is moving, 5.9%. Your benefits are going up next year, 5.9%. Good. But the problem is that your benefits didn't go up before the pandemic. Your benefits were behind the eight ball. They were not caught up with the cost of living, or they were not caught up with how much it costs to live before the pandemic. They were behind during the pandemic, and now they're just trying to catch up to inflation rate. So 5.9% doesn't cut it. And this is why you need fifth stimulus. First, they're going to raise your benefits up one big time. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. And that new benchmark would come in December. Once they raise your benefits up, you never step down. And they would reapply that benchmark every year. So inflation, if it's 2% every year for the next 2 years, you continue to get step up, step up, step up. Remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? The membership link is under the video. You need to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button right today, right this moment, and then also become a member and get that incredible newsletter that comes out Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, to learn how to get all these big sums of money under third stimulus today. Don't be sitting back and say, when am I getting a check in my hand or my bank account under fourth stimulus with my donut order on the griddle? No, you need to get the big money from third stimulus right now, and if you got some more, you should get some more again. It's available right now. The newsletter comes out 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. It features the money for rent and utilities and food and more that gets you about $45,000 on average for the viewers of the channel. Features the nonprofits. Features also the statement from Treasury, which you want to read. You want to read the statement from Treasury. It explains the $13 billion that's going out to your city, county, and states for additional rent. So when you call them up, they know what you're talking about. Consider becoming a member today. And with that, we go into my final commentary to wrap it up. And that commentary starts right now. As we go into these final days of this fall weather, we know what's coming around the horizon. Cold weather. Cold weather means more utility bills, and more utility bills mean less money at home, more expenses, and you need those bills paid. It is troubling to me that I got a sense in the last few days that people were not using the resources of third stimulus. For whatever reason, I don't know. Maybe they were new viewers, or maybe they thought third stimulus was used up, or maybe they just presumed I'll get it from fourth, it's easier. And they stopped doing third stimulus. I had a sense, and I reached out to one of the volunteers. I said, how many messages are you getting? Now, remember, volunteers usually sometimes get 16 messages a day. Nothing in 3 days. Nothing in 3 days. Even a week in which this channel, the early part of last week was one of our most watched weeks in a long time. Very, very few people reaching out. That's deeply troubling. And I saw it compound, and this is a tough love moment. I saw it compound in the chat where people said, I need this fourth stimulus check right away. Otherwise, I'm going to be evicted. I said, wait a second. You're having problems making rent? Rent is covered under third stimulus. People saying I need it because of my utility bill. Get your utility bills paid by third stimulus and the nonprofits. Utility bills, not utility bills. Rent, food, meals, small appliances, small repairs. The spirit of this channel has always been the same. And while I haven't said the same lines all the time, because I don't want to be repetitive, We're cashing checks. We're not tracking checks. Moreover, this channel is about financial independence. I came into the subject matter coming over from other programs that I was covered on this channel, like EIDL and PPP and BUA, to say, hey, wait a second. People are becoming financially dependent upon the event of the government. Can't do that. I can get you all these sums of money available right now so that you're not financially dependent. I see an element of financial dependency growing again, and it makes me definitely worried because people are saying, I need this from forced stimulus, otherwise this will happen. And then I say, what are you having problems with? Oh, I'm having problems with my landlord. I'm having problems with my utilities. I'm having problems with my mortgage. And it just shocks me because there's astronomical amounts of money. And these are not just subscribers, they're members, they're Purple Hawks who get the newsletter. And the newsletter shows them how to get the money. And they thought they're just sort of tuning in to focus to the future. No. It's also peculiar sometimes for some people to think, wait a second, I got rent from your channel back in December of 2020. I didn't know I could get rent again. Of course you can. Let's recap. These monies you're allowed to replenish. And you don't have to replenish them at the same source. So if you got it from your county, you can get it now from the nonprofit or from the state or the city. You can get it from a totally different source. But you can get this money in fall of 2020. You can get it again in the spring of this year. You can get it in the summer. You can get it in the fall of this year. And then you can get it early next year again. And then when forced stimulus the funds go out, you can get it again. You can continually ask for funds if you need them. And what I think I've always said to the viewers is I can teach you what it is. I can give you the resources. I can show you. You have to make the phone call. If you don't want to make the phone call, that is fine. Johnny was one of the best examples of that messaging, which is I always have a viewer or two viewers sporadically says, I made one phone call and they said I don't qualify, so I never called again. Johnny called at least probably 12 places because he got approved and funded by 7 places. So don't think he called 7 to 7 and got funded 100%. No, he probably called 12, maybe he called 15 places. And he got 7 places to pay him $80,000 in a week. He dedicated a week of his time to call around and get these sums of money. And he got them. He did it all on his own. We have viewers like Margaret who gets one pot of money, goes back in a week. She's had some issues with her situation at home, so she takes a little break. Then she goes back and makes a few more phone calls, gets a few $100. We have Mark who does the same thing. He gets some money, then goes back and gets another round, gets it replenished. That's what you need to do. So I'm bringing a little bit of tough love in here because I get this sense that people are just sort of doing this. I only want one thing. I only want one thing. I'm only going to wait for one thing. I'm only looking at one thing. I don't think this one of the things. I don't know. No, we got rid of that in 2020. We are not doing that anymore, folks. We got rid of that in 2020. I had enough people that had been burnt across the board in 2020 from elsewhere where they came to me and they said, wait a second, I was told to wait around for Nancy Pelosi's HEROES Act. Never became law. Never became law. Sent over to Mitch McConnell, he threw it in the garbage can. And people were waiting for that event to occur. And I said, wait, don't wait for an event, cash checks. That's what we do. Thank you for joining me on this supersized afternoon show. Then we go right into now evening's LALATE with a big show tonight at 5 o'clock. And then overnight's crypto, and we got shows at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11:30. Join me for my triple hour of programming. It is Evenings LALATE, Evenings Countdown, and Stream Stimulus. It's becoming a very popular channel with many people preferring Countdown over Evenings LALATE. Remember, Evenings LALATE comes first, then Countdown, and then Stream Stimulus. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I wish you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful afternoon, and stay with LA for more.